love the people of the UK. I mean, I've loved them. They show great support for me. When they were doing that ridiculous thing about a couple of months ago, the people of the UK showed such great support. I love the people of the UK. My mother was born, as you know, in Scotland.
Today, we are going to discuss one of the most explosive stories in British politics at the moment. A clash that's reverberating across the Atlantic, shaking up the special relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom. This isn't just politics as usual, it is a high-stakes drama filled with personal vendettas, international diplomacy and the future of US-UK relations hanging in the balance. Before we go further, we want you to take some time to like this video and urge you to watch the video till the end to get the full gist of this impending political fire. The spotlight today is on a significant diplomatic rift between US President Donald Trump and UK Labour leader Keir Starmer. Trump, known for his long memory and demand for loyalty, has excluded Starmer from a major diplomatic meeting. But what led to this dramatic fallout, and what does it mean for the future of US-UK relations? Let's unpack it all step by step.
From everything I see, has no respect for this person.
It can spot potholes quicker.
Donald Trump is no stranger to grudges. He's made it clear time and time again that loyalty is a cornerstone of his political worldview. This includes loyalty not just within his political circle, but also from international leaders. If you betray him, you better believe there will be consequences, and these consequences will be public, loud, and damaging. Keir Starmer's leadership of the UK's Labour Party has increasingly put in Trump's crosshairs, particularly because Starmer supported Trump's political rivals in the last US presidential elections. The Labour Party, under Starmer's leadership, openly supported Trump's rival, Kamala Harris. Some Labour MPs even campaigned for her and aligned themselves with the Democratic Party. This wasn't a political strategy, it was a move that didn't go unnoticed by Trump. For Trump, it was a personal betrayal, and that, of course, didn't sit well with the president.
Is it a surprise to you that Donald Trump hasn't invited Keir Starmer to his inauguration in a few days' time, and the Labour Party come out and go, hey, it's perfectly normal for a foreign dignitary not to be invited? I'm not sure if it is. One of their top strategic partners, it's not that he doesn't even attend, he's not invited, hasn't got a ticket, haven't kept a seat for him.
Many in the UK political establishment tried to downplay the significance of Starmer's exclusion from Trump's inauguration, calling it normal for a foreign dignitary not to be invited. But
Many in the UK political establishment are trying to downplay the significance of Starmer's exclusion from Trump's inauguration, calling it normal for a foreign dignitary not to be invited. But in the context of the special relationship between the United States and the UK, is it really normal for a leader like Starmer to be snubbed in such a manner?
Between the UK and the US, where is that right now under the Starmer government, and where would you like it to be?
Well, obviously, I mean, a Labour government you're always going to have problems with, but we have a deeper relationship. Regardless of political party, there's always going to be a deep bond between the United Kingdom and the United States. But with a Farage as Prime Minister, we'll go next level. And that's what, look, I've known Nigel now.
The relationship between the UK and the US has been one of the most enduring and significant in global politics. But under the current Labour leadership, that bond seems to be under a significant strain. Donald Trump doesn't believe in playing the diplomatic game by the book. Instead, he values strength, decisiveness, and loyalty. For him, those are the qualities that make someone a legitimate partner on the world stage. Keir Starmer, in Trump's view, has failed on all counts. The Labour Party's open support for Trump's political rivals during the election campaign is viewed as a direct betrayal, and this action has larger implications for the UK's standing in international diplomacy.
We are where we are. You might say, in theory, that's a good idea. Can this Labour government do that? Because if they can't, surely the Trump presidency is a very bad thing for the UK, for the UK economy.
Well, I mean, you'd argue the same if we were still part of the European Union. Yes. And this may give Starmer, our Prime Minister, a slight dilemma. Does he do what's right for us, or does he do what Brussels tell him to do?
In Trump's world, action speaks louder than words. By excluding Starmer from this crucial diplomatic meeting, Trump is sending a clear message. He values loyalty over ideological alignment, and in this case, Starmer's failure to support his leadership has consequences for the UK. For Trump, this isn't merely a difference of opinion. It is a direct challenge to his authority. Starmer's exclusion from the meeting isn't just a personal affront, it carries significant implications for the UK's global standing.
To have the special relationship that we have, and everybody knows we have it with the United States of America, but Donald Trump has seen fit not to invite Sir Keir Starmer, no doubt because of his views on Donald Trump, no doubt because of David Lammy's sayings on Donald Trump, maybe indeed because of Sadiq Khan's protestations about what a horrible man Donald Trump is. You know, you can't mess around in politics.
This meeting was a critical opportunity for Britain to assert its influence, negotiate favourable trade deals and reinforce its alliance with the US. Without Starmer in the room, Britain's voice on the global stage felt muted. The exclusion of Starmer sparks serious questions about the UK's ability to navigate complex international relationships under Starmer's leadership, highlighting concerns about the nation's position and influence in an evolving geopolitical landscape. Loyalty is a key component of Donald Trump's foreign policy. He has built strong personal relationships with foreign leaders like Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu and Hungary's Viktor Orbán, primarily because these leaders have been loyal to him both in public and private. Nigel Farage, the prominent Brexit campaigner and one of the few British political figures who has maintained a positive relationship with Trump, is another example of how loyalty pays off in Trump's world. Farage has consistently stood by Trump, supported his policies and shared common values. That has led to a more solid bond between the two.
It was inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States of America. I consider it to be a massive stain on British history that our Prime Minister will not be there. Let's ask Tobias Ellwood what he makes of it. Tobias, very good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
It's pretty awful, is it not, that, you know, here we are, supposedly the friend of the United States, the special relationship that exists between the two countries. We don't have a seat at the table.
Contrast that with Starmer's Labour Party. Under his leadership, Labour MPs were not only allowed but actively encouraged to campaign for Joe Biden and later for Kamala Harris and other Democrats during the last election in the United States. In Trump's eyes, that is a betrayal, and for a man like Trump, loyalty is non-negotiable. The actions of the Labour Party have made it clear that Starmer has not only failed to align with Trump on a political level, but has actively opposed him, a fact that Trump doesn't take lightly.
Or not, but we've seen what happened when Europe opened their doors. Look at Paris, look at London. They're no longer recognizable. And I'm going to get myself into a lot of trouble with the folks in Paris and the folks in London.
The truth is, Trump, if anything, is far more powerful today than he was in 2016. Trump won an undisputed electoral mandate, backed by a likely congressional trifecta and a more radical, coherent and thought-through ideology developed by organizations such as the Heritage Foundation. Therefore, a Trump presidency will present Starmer with endless problems, which could sap energy from his premiership. When the deportations of undocumented migrants begin, Starmer will come under enormous pressure from his party to condemn them. Imagine the moment it is discovered that a dual British citizen has been rounded up and separated from his children.
Well, I'm not going to speculate as to what he's going to do. It won't come as any surprise to you that I'm not a fan of tariffs. And therefore we have to make sure that we avoid tariffs. We've got very good trade with the US, as we've got very good trade with other countries around the world. I want to improve on that, and as you will know, I had a meeting with President Trump in September in New York. I had a number of phone calls.
But Starmer's challenges don't end with Trump. At home, his leadership is facing intense scrutiny. Labour under Starmer's leadership is seen as unrecognisable to many long-time members. The party's historic commitment to protect the most vulnerable, particularly pensioners and children, appears compromised. This disillusionment among the public is also echoed by councillors and constituents where anti-Starmer sentiment has risen. And if you think this statement is mere wishful thinking, polls show that Starmer is the most unpopular Prime Minister in nearly half a century. After only 6 months in office, his approval ratings are lower than those of Margaret Thatcher at her lowest point, or Tony Blair during his decline. The dissatisfaction comes from policy missteps, including the cuts to winter fuel payments, increased taxation, and the proposed tuition fee hike. Frankly, the Keir Starmer situation is becoming more precarious every day, and it hasn't been helped by the handling of the relationship with Trump.
They are no longer recognizable, and we can't let that happen to our country. We have incredible culture, tradition, Nothing wrong with their culture, their tradition. Can't let that happen here.
The rift.
His exclusion from such an important meeting will only make things harder for him and the Labour Party, given the crucial nature of the UK-US relationship, which has been the cornerstone of international diplomacy, security and trade for nearly a century. As Trump settles into his role as the President of the United States, he will take certain decisions that are going to affect the UK because of Starmer's past comments against him. What do you think Starmer should do to fix this crucial relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.